Michigan lawmakers passed a budget for the 2027 fiscal year last week. That bill still has to be signed, though, by Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
There's a particular focus on education, including a 2.5% increase in funding for schools.
13 on your side's Peter Elliott spoke with education experts to understand what this means for schools in West Michigan. Peter.
Juliet and Lauren, this budget is jam-packed. It's 544 pages in pretty small font, but one of the biggest headlines is that increase in education funding, which one advocate says is especially important now that everything is more expensive. There's a lot to unpack with the new $75 billion budget passed by state leaders last week.
Well, it was a bipartisan effort, and so we thank legislators from both parties.
About $23 billion, or 30%, is set aside for education, a record high for the state.
Our students deserve the best, and we want strong outcomes for kids. We have to make sure the resources are there to support it.
One of the big headlines, a 2.5% increase in per-pupil funding. It means the minimum amount a school now receives per student will rise to $10,300.
And that certainly helps in this inflationary environment.
The state is also adopting what's called a weighted funding formula to provide further resources.
Students who come to school with additional needs receive additional funding.
Then for students that are economically disadvantaged or identified as English language learners, their weight goes up by 5%.
Kevin Polston is the superintendent of Kentwood Public Schools, the most diverse district in the state, which serves about 10,000 students from more than 100 countries.
For the first time in 31 years, the state has changed the education funding formula in Michigan to modernize it to not just meet our current need, but also future student need.
Dan Beam is the liaison between 45 school districts in West Michigan and lawmakers in Lansing.
We know from research the sooner we can address an unmet need that a student has, the better they're going to do in terms of their achievement, and the lower the cost is going to be to address that barrier to their learning.
The budget also continues free meals for students across the state and standardizes how literacy is taught.
You're not going to see drastic change. What you're going to see is incremental, just a stair-step approach. We're going to stand on the shoulders of the work that was done before us.
Governor Whitmer has applauded the bill, which she is expected to sign. It will be her final one in office. In the newsroom, I'm Peter Elliott, 13 on your side.